Behind the zombies and gore was real pain. From emotional breakdowns to heat exhaustion, injuries, and life-changing sacrifices, the cast endured far more than viewers ever saw. Michael Rooker endured real physical damage while playing Merle Dixon on The Walking Dead. For much of his run on the show, Rooker had to wear a prosthetic hand, and it wasn't just uncomfortable, it caused actual nerve damage. He had to push through the pain during filming, day after day, while continuing to perform physically demanding scenes. The prosthetic became such a burden that learning his character would be killed off initially brought relief, simply because it meant he wouldn't have to wear it anymore. Even so, Rooker kept working through the discomfort and never stopped committing fully to the role. Andrew Lincoln endured one of the harshest filming stretches in The Walking Dead during the Season 7 premiere. The episode follows the deaths of Glenn and Abraham, and much of it unfolds through Rick Grimes' perspective, keeping Lincoln at the center of the brutality. While the cast spent multiple nights kneeling on gravel in the woods, Lincoln had to remain in the scene longer than anyone else, sharing extended sequences with Negan.
Which one of you pricks is the leader?
It's this one. The guy.
The role required him to stay immersed in despair for around 10 days straight, carrying the emotional weight of watching his group suffer while being unable to stop it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan took on a mental burden that nearly pushed him to quit while playing Negan on The Walking Dead. Negan's cruelty wasn't just difficult for viewers, portraying it became emotionally draining for Morgan himself. The strain peaked during the Season 7 premiere, when the most brutal scenes were filmed over 10 consecutive days. The intensity affected both Morgan and Andrew Lincoln, who were locked into the same bleak storyline throughout that stretch. To continue in the role, Morgan focused on empathizing with the character, a process that required sacrificing a sense of mental calm, a sacrifice he later accepted again by returning as Negan in a spin-off series. Norman Reedus made a raw, personal sacrifice during one of Daryl Dixon's darkest storylines on The Walking Dead. When Daryl was captured by the Saviors and locked in a cell, the scenes required him to be completely naked as part of their effort to humiliate him. Instead of using any covering while filming, Reedus chose to go through the scenes fully exposed in front of the crew to keep the moment authentic. The decision meant sitting unclothed on set for extended takes, enduring the discomfort and vulnerability that came with portraying Daryl's captivity. Ryan Hurst pushed his body to the limit while playing one of The Walking Dead's most physically demanding characters. As Beta, he had to endure George's extreme summer heat while wearing a Whisperer mask, his own heavy beard, a leather trench coat, and multiple layers underneath. The conditions were already brutal, but Hurst made it harder by keeping the mask on between takes to stay in character. The heat and lack of airflow took a serious toll, and the strain eventually became so severe that he was hospitalized for heat exhaustion during production. Lauren Cohan put her place on The Walking Dead on the line over pay. After joining the series in Season 2 as Maggie, she remained a core part of the show for 6 seasons, as the character evolved into a key leader within the group. As her contract as a series regular ended, Cohan made it clear she was willing to walk away if her compensation did not reflect her role alongside her male co-leads. That stance led her to begin planning an exit from the series, even though it meant stepping away from one of television's most popular shows. Sonequa Martin Green nearly lost a career-defining role because she stayed committed to The Walking Dead until the very end. While many viewers assumed she exited the show to move on to Star Trek Discovery, the reality was more complicated. Martin Green only secured the Star Trek role because she already knew her character's fate on The Walking Dead. Even then, her final episode took so long to film that the Star Trek producers grew impatient waiting for her availability. Her dedication almost cost her the new lead role entirely, until production on the series was delayed so she could finish her work. Andrew Lincoln made a life-changing sacrifice when he committed to The Walking Dead. At the time, he was newly married with a young family, and the show was expected to run for many years. Accepting the role meant uprooting their lives and moving to a foreign country since most of the series was filmed in Georgia. Lincoln relocated his family to Atlanta so he could take part in the production. Years later, when his children grew older and returned to London, he chose to leave the show after 9 seasons in order to spend more time with them. Norman Reedus has repeatedly paid a physical price while playing Daryl Dixon on The Walking Dead. Over the years, Reedus has been injured multiple times during filming, including giving himself a black eye with his own crossbow. While shooting a barn scene, he cut his arm badly enough that blood was visible on camera, even though the shot wasn't used. He also sliced his finger on broken glass while reaching into a vending machine during another scene. Even late into the show's run, he was hurt when a zombie performer accidentally struck him while trying to keep a mask out of frame. Michael Cudlitz made an unusual sacrifice after his Walking Dead character was killed. Once Abraham was written out, Cudlitz was technically out of work, but his job wasn't over. He still had to promote the show publicly while acting as if Abraham might be alive. That meant dodging direct questions and sticking to a cover story shared by the cast to protect the secret. To keep appearances believable, Cudlitz even kept Abraham's red hair and mustache for months, maintaining the illusion long after filming ended, a decision that affected life at home as well. Chandler Riggs had to juggle 2 full-time lives while growing up on The Walking Dead. Joining the show at just 10 years old meant balancing a demanding filming schedule with his education, since production often ran throughout the school year. Riggs had to split his focus between schoolwork and acting for years, long before he could fully commit to either. By the time his character was written off, he had finally finished school, making the timing frustrating. Despite the challenge, his time on the series turned him into a fan favorite, earned him awards, and even made him the subject of a widely shared meme. Danai Gurira faced an unexpected physical sacrifice when she joined The Walking Dead as Michonne. Although she already had martial arts training from her MFA program at NYU, the role demanded far more than general fitness. From Season 3 onward, Gurira had to train specifically to wield a katana, a weapon central to Michonne's character. The training went beyond standard workouts and focused on mastering the weight and control of the sword itself.
It takes a lot of effort to wield a sword all day long.
To keep up, she practiced at home using real wooden and plastic katanas throughout her time on the show. Josh McDermott made a very visible sacrifice to play Eugene Porter on The Walking Dead. Unlike many TV hairstyles, Eugene's infamous mullet wasn't a wig. McDermott actually had to commit to the haircut in real life, even though he hated it. On top of that, he's a natural blonde, so he also had to dye his hair to match the character. Keeping Eugene's look didn't stop when filming wrapped either. Because of the haircut, McDermott became instantly recognizable in public, unlike castmates whose appearances off-screen looked completely different from their characters. Alana Masterson made an intense physical sacrifice while playing Tara Chambler on The Walking Dead. During her time on the show, she continued filming even while pregnant, pushing through exhaustion and working days that stretched up to 18 hours. Her commitment wasn't driven by special treatment or shortened schedules. She kept pace with the rest of the cast. Masterson believed that if no one else was complaining, she shouldn't either. That mindset led her to endure long, grueling shoots while carrying out the demands of a physically taxing production.